Hey ladies, I hope you're all well and have had a really good week. So today's topic is quite a difficult one because it's so prominent and it's currently happening and there doesn't seem to be any changes regarding it. So I was recently asked, what are my thoughts regarding police brutality that's currently prevalent in the US and whether I think people of influence and power should be using their power and influence to bring about change regarding this situation. Excuse me. Now, from the onset, I'll say it's quite difficult reading and hearing about all the different stories and things that have happened within police custody or in the hands of police, because police should be the people that protect us, that keep us safe. No harm should befall us in their hands, but that's exactly what's happening and what's happened. And so it brings about an anxiety and fear in that if we're not safe in the hands of police, where are we safe? Who are we safe with? Do you know what I mean? And that concerns me more than anything else. And it annoys me and agitates me that nothing seems to be being done by those in power, such as, the president and other government officials. Or if there is something happening, then there's not enough media coverage that's covering it. And I feel like media is a very, very big part of anything that ever happens, anything that becomes an issue or a topic of discussion in the world, because it's first brought on by the media. And so I feel like sometimes we need to, for a lack of a better term, we need to take things with a pinch of salt when they're being broadcasted by the media, because A, we don't know the background, and B, we don't know whether that's their current focus for this season and then it will be forgotten about. We don't know what the real agenda is when it comes to media. And please don't hear that I'm saying that these things are not important, because they are, and people's lives have been taken, and that's not right. I don't feel like that's a right thing. But media can sway societies in the world in such massive ways, and they have such massive influences that they can either build up or destroy a nation, a country, people, and people's reputation. And I say this because it actually reminds me, when I first came to England, there was a lot of, and there still is, I guess, a lot of coverage of South Africa, and it almost seemed like England was kind of like saying, don't go to South Africa because of crime, you will get raped, your car will get stolen, you'll get hijacked, and all this kind of stuff. While these are true, I feel like the media focus so much on different instances and different occasions where these things happen, that's all that was being shown about South Africa, whereas there's so much good and so much positivity that's happening there that doesn't really get shown. And so I felt like that was a very negative thing for the media to do. And I'm not saying we're a perfect country, because we have our flaws. What country doesn't? But I feel like media can sometimes just over-focus on a particular area or topic. And so I'm really glad to some degree that this is being raised and it's becoming more visible to the rest of the world, because actually we don't know how long it's been going on for, because just because the media has decided to broadcast it this time around doesn't mean that there hasn't been hundreds of other cases where this has happened, it didn't come up on our radar. And so in regards to whether I think people in position and power should use their power to bring about a change, definitely. Like I said before, the government, the president, and other officials should be using their power. And, we should be seeing them a lot more. We should be hearing interviews from them. We should be hearing about things that are going to put in place to bring about a change, or investigations that are being done. Because ultimately, the judicial system of America rests upon the government officials. And so if they don't feel like they can challenge that, then we're in a lot of trouble. And so I just feel like the government and government officials should make the judicial system accountable. Why are people dying in their hands? Why are police so harsh and not giving people the right prosecution process? Why are people dying in their hands? Do you know what I mean? Like, does the working conditions and ethos need to be looked at? Does there need to be more training? You know, what is happening? And actually, I've just remembered, my husband was saying that he'd read an article recently about how the police system, or the police in America, are becoming more militarized. And now that's really scary, because then what's the plan? Because to me, that then makes me think, like, is there some sort of war that they're preparing for that the rest of the world doesn't know about? And if that's the case, why are they not telling us? Why are they practicing on civilians? Surely they should have a base somewhere where they practice what they need to practice, but it shouldn't be on human beings. Because who has the right to say who can live and who can die? No one but God. And so that really, hearing that and the prospects that they might, I don't know, that they're being more militarized is a really scary prospect. And I'll try and find you the link. Every link and kind of article that I've been looking at regarding this will be posted at the bottom in the comment section of this video. But so my thoughts on this, on the whole police brutality, is that there's so many questions. Why is nothing being done? And if it is being done, why is it not being shown? And is the media just honing in on this particular thing for this season, and then is it all going to disappear? Is it all, I don't know, is it all a ploy to get us all hyped up and agitated and angered to bring on something that the police have been preparing for by becoming militarized? Do you know what I mean? Is there a motive? Is there something bigger that we just don't know about that all links in? Because obviously, because there's been so many deaths with black people are now going to rise up, and there's a lot of anger in the different communities. And obviously there's the fear that they're going to retaliate. And so was this the whole plan all along, that they rile us up and get us angry and fired up, and then kind of say, well, you see, we needed to be training more like the military because we knew this was going to happen. But if that's the argument that will come, then it was all part of their plan, because the media brought it up. There's more cases of it, and it was all part of this plan to get us angry so that they have an excuse to attack us. Do you know what I mean? Attack people. And please don't hear that I'm disregarding any cases where white people have died or been injured in the hands of police. I'm really not. But like I said, this is what's currently out there. This is what's currently being shown by the media. And so there's a lot of questions. And I definitely think that people in position and power, whether that is the governmental officials or celebrities or anything like that, should be using their influence to bring about change. They should be asking the questions. They should be asking for investigations and reviews for the judicial system. They should be demanding that a change comes. Whether they're doing it or not, I guess we'll never know, because the media isn't covering it. Or if there is nothing being done, why is nothing being done? What are your thoughts? I'm very intrigued. I know I've probably sounded like I've been ranting, but there's just a lot of questions that I just don't, and a lot of things that just don't make sense to me. But I'd really love to hear what your thoughts are, what your feelings about this are, and check out the articles and stuff that will be below this video.